Good evening, you're watching Independent News. I'm Adam Dawler. Lots of stories from home and abroad tonight. Let me give you a couple of the headlines. The Finance Ministry says that there will be no new deal on the Podda Bridge project. In fact, the previous deal has been revived by the World Bank. The Chief Election Commissioner says that the Election Commission will not face any difficulty in holding the next general elections, even if it's held before schedule. The BNP has begun its month-long mass contact programme with a rally in Dinajpur. The party aims to drum up public support for the ongoing anti-government movement. The Finance Ministry has said that there will be no new deal with the World Bank on the Podda Bridge project. A ministry official said that the World Bank has revived the old deal. However, donor agencies will sit with the government to finalise new strategies to implement the project. The Secretary of the Ministry's Economic Relations Division made these observations at a press conference in the capital today.
Representatives from the World Bank, the Asian Development Bank and the Japan International Cooperation Agency will soon come to Dhaka from their respective headquarters in Washington, Manila and in Tokyo. They will sit with the government to determine the procedures of inquiry into the corruption allegations and to devise the strategy to implement the Podda Bridge project.
A three-member World Bank team is scheduled to visit Bangladesh soon. Their visit is to assess the progress being made in the investigation into the alleged graft in the Podda Bridge project. The Anti-Corruption Commission, or ACC, says that the people who've already been interrogated by the Commission may be questioned again. ACC Chairman Ghulam Rahman said today that the ACC has already asked for details of the visit. He said that the anti-graft body is also prepared to support the team when it arrives in the country. The ACC chairman also said that a number of people may be questioned soon, including the Prime Minister's Economic Affairs Advisor, Mashur Rahman.
The World Bank has set a condition that they will have an independent team of internationally recognized experts. We will inform the team of experts of our activities. We will share information with them.
Chief Election Commissioner Qazi Rakibuddin Ahmed has said that the Election Commission will face no difficulty in holding the next general elections, even if it is held before schedule. The Chief Election Commissioner said that if the voter list update is not completed before the elections, the existing voter list will be used and that the previous demarcations for constituencies will apply.
The tenure of the current 9th National Parliament will end on the 24th of January 2014. As per Article 123 of the Constitution, general elections must be held within the last 90 days of the Parliament's tenure. As such, the next general elections must be held between the 27th of October 2013 and the 24th of January 2014. There are discussions in the political arena about the possibility of an early election. When asked if the Commission is prepared for an early election, the CEC said that the voter list updating is scheduled to be completed in January next year. But the CEC said if the list cannot be updated by then, the election will be held using the last voter list.
If the election is scheduled much earlier, we will have to use the latest voter list. The required indelible ink is not manufactured in the country, so we import it from abroad. We have already listed down items that will have to be imported. Some items can be procured in 2 months, while some others need 6 months. We have made plans so that we can be ready.
Qazi Rakibuddin Ahmed said that the election can also be held as per previous area demarcation. He said that in all issues regarding the election, the EC will give priority to the country's existing laws and not to the executive orders from the government.
Our action will not follow what the government says, but what the law says. We have already procured some items. We are in the process of procuring other items.
However, the CEC did not give any information on whether the Upazila and the City Corporation elections can be held before the next general elections.
In other news, BNP chairperson Khaleda Zia has reiterated that her party will not participate in any election under an elected government. She also said that the opposition movement cannot be thwarted by filing cases against its activists. Khaleda made the comments at a rally arranged by the BNP-led 18-party alliance in Dinajpur today. At the rally, Khaleda alleged that the Prime Minister and other members of her government are corrupt. She said that the World Bank compelled the government to accept its conditions for the Podla Bridge funding. The BNP chief said that people in the ruling party have misappropriated 400 billion taka in the name of quick rental projects. She claimed that the government has also failed to improve the power situation. In addition, Khaleda criticized the government for raising electricity prices several times. The main opposition, BNP, began its month-long mass contact program with a rally in Dinajpur today. BNP leaders say that the program aims to drum up public support for their anti-government movement. However, many central leaders who were supposed to visit different districts as part of the program have not done so as yet.
The BNP aims to rally support in favor of their movement for the restoration of the caretaker government system before the next general elections. BNP leaders say that Khaleda Zia's presence at district-level rallies will significantly expedite the opposition's movement.
The main objective of the month-long campaign is to foster public opinion against the government. We can already sense a growing anti-government sentiment in the people. We hope that we will gain more public support by the time our program ends.
Central leaders of the party were supposed to start touring different districts from the 7th of this month to make the mass contact program successful. However, many of them are yet to leave the capital.
District committee গুলোকে আমরা freedom দিচ্ছি। আমরা বলছি যে তোমরাই ঠিক করে নেবে।
We are giving district-level leaders the freedom to determine ways of holding programs in their areas. However, we expect to hold rallies, processions and other programs to drum up support in different districts.
বিভিন্ন district থেকে বিভিন্ন রকমের program আসবে।
The main opposition hopes that Khaleda's campaign and the tours of the central leaders through their districts will have a positive impact on their popularity ahead of the national polls.
The dawn-to-dusk nationwide strike enforced by 12 Islamic parties has ended with no major incidents of violence. Police detained at least 50 strikers from different parts of the country. In the capital, strikers brought out processions at different parts, but the traffic was almost normal.
12 like-minded Islamic parties brought out a procession in the capital's Karan Bazar area this morning. Processions were also brought out in Babu Bazar and Jatrabari areas. Police chased away picketers at Jatrabari and dispersed the procession. Police detained 5 picketers at Kazipara in Mirpur. Strikers also brought out processions in Palton and Motijil areas, but there were no reports of violence. In Chittagong, strike supporters vandalized 3 buses bound for Cox's Bazar. They also torched a police vehicle and a BRTC bus in the port city. Police detained 3 people for the violence. Strikers blocked roads in Netrakona, setting fire to tires. Pro-strike processions were brought out in other parts of the country, but no incidents of violence were reported. Islami ঐক্যজোট chairman Fazlul Haq Amini has claimed that the strike was successful.
যেভাবে পারেন আপনারা প্রতিবাদ করেন
We will protest in our own areas. We can call strikes in villages, districts or in divisions. In this way we will continue our protests.
মিছিল করে প্রতিবাদ করে এর প্রতিবাদ আমরা জানাইতে থাকি
Meanwhile, Home Minister M.K. Alamgir has said that followers of a mainstream political party called today's strike.
Those who called the strike are undoubtedly followers of a particular political party. They are using religious sentiment to cause sufferings for the people. They will be held accountable for that.
The 12 Islamic parties which enforced the strike today have not announced any new programs.
In related news, the Joint General Secretary of the ruling Awami League has termed the general strike today as completely illogical and politically motivated. Mahbubul Alam Hanif made the remark in the capital this afternoon. He said that the BNP Jamaat nexus is trying to create instability in the country in the name of protesting an anti-Islam video clip. He alleged that the BNP and the Jamaat are trying to gain political advantage by using religious sentiment. Hanif also thinks that opposition activists are trying to create instability under the guise of the pro-Islamic 12-party alliance, which enforced today's nationwide strike.
BNP and Jamaat, in the guise of these pro-Islamic parties, tried to create chaos in the country over the anti-Islam film issue. I don't see any logic behind taking to the streets over the issue. I think the only objective of such strikes is to foil the war crimes trial and to push the government into an embarrassing situation to gain political advantage.
State Minister for Home Shamsul Haq Tuku also said that the strike was called in collaboration with the BNP and the Jamaat-e-Islami. He made the comments to journalists in Dhaka today. Tuku said that the public have rejected the strike. He said that BNP Jamaat activists were involved in the violence over the anti-Islam film. The junior minister also said that the Prime Minister has already criticized the film that denigrates Islam and the Prophet Muhammad.
The opposition habitually opposes everything. It has told the Islamic parties to enforce a strike, but on the other hand, it has told them to keep its political program out of the purview of the strike.
Breaking news, we've just received the news that a fire has broken out at the Alauddin Tower in the capital's Uttara area. Firefighters are at the scene to extinguish the blaze. No casualties have been reported so far. The Labour and Employment Minister has blamed what he calls a third force for the killing of Noshing Mayor Luqman Hussain. Rajuddin Ahmed Raju made the accusation at a rally in Noshingdi today. The family of slain Mayor Luqman repeatedly accused the minister's family of having a hand in the murder. The minister has now visited his parliament constituency after about a year. Meanwhile, the first day of a two-day general strike in Noshingdi by a faction of the local unit of Awami League passed off peacefully. The faction has called off the second day of strike scheduled for tomorrow. Today's shutdown was called to protest the Labour and Employment Minister Raju's visit to the area.
I truly understand that Luqman's family is the victim of a conspiracy. A third force is behind the conspiracy. It's the same force that is trying to foil the war crimes trial. This force is now misleading the Luqman family. I do politics for peace. I have never indulged in politics of crime and violence.
The International Crimes Tribunal has declared wanted former Jamaat leader Abul Kalam Azad in a crimes against humanity case. In a separate case, the tribunal has ordered that Abdul Subhan, the Naib Amir of Jamaat-e-Islami, be presented before the tribunal on the 30th of September. These orders were passed by the International Crimes Tribunal 2, headed by Justice A.T.M. Fazli Kabir. The order on Abul Kalam Azad said that the tribunal will conduct his trial in absentia if the accused does not appear before the tribunal by the 7th of October. The tribunal also ordered its deputy registrar to publish the notice in a Bangla newspaper and in an English one. The State Minister for Housing and Public Works, Abdul Mannan Khan, has expressed the hope that the BGMEA building will be demolished before the opening of the Hatir Jheel Begunbari development project in December. He made the remark while visiting the project site in the capital today. Khan said that the Prime Minister will inaugurate the project before the 16th of December. The State Minister said the government will compensate the people who will be affected by the project. Telecommunications Secretary Shunil Kantu Bose has been appointed as the chairman of the Bangladesh Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, BTRC. A circular of the Public Administration Ministry says that Shunil has been appointed as the head of the telecom regulator for a period of 3 years. Bose joined public service in 1979 and served in different important positions. And with that, we'll take a look at what's been going on at the stock market. The benchmark index of the Dhaka Stock Exchange registered a modest gain on the first day of the week today. Prices of most issues on the country's premier bourse also increased. The DSE General Index increased 121 points to reach 4,800 at close of day's trading. Of the 273 issues traded, 241 advanced, 25 declined and 7 remained unchanged. Shares in mutual fund units worth 1.11 billion taka changed hands on the bourse. Moving on to sports, the ICC World 2020 continues today, first with New Zealand valiantly losing to Pakistan at the Pallekele grounds in Sri Lanka. Batting first, Pakistan scored 177 thanks to Nasir Jamshed's rapid half-century. The Kiwis took to the crease with vigour but fell to Pakistan's deadly bowling attack. Nevertheless, a win was not completely off the table for New Zealand. They lost by just 13 runs.
Pakistan on the move here. 2 runs from the over. 3 balls to go.
And that's all from the English desk today. We'll be back with independent news tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the evening. We hope you'll be with us then, and good night.